So, my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin is at $104,400. Not much change from yesterday. The US market was closed, and in Germany it was partly a public holiday. I'm not sure. I think it wasn't a holiday in every state. Yeah, and crypto, or rather Bitcoin, is barely moving at all. $104,400. We were actually already at that level yesterday, or even the day before. You can see for yourselves, the range is getting tighter and tighter. That's why we're going to take a look at the funding rates. We'll also, of course, check out the liquidation map and see what else is coming up this Friday before we head into what should be an exciting weekend, since we still don't know how things will develop between Israel and Iran. My personal guess, something's going to happen this weekend, but honestly, I hope it doesn't. Still, I just have this feeling in the back of my mind that something is going to happen over the weekend. But anyway, it doesn't matter right now. Let's jump into the chart before we get started. Feel free to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, check out the free Telegram talk and signal groups. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join in. You can find the link for that for free in the video description, and if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade all of this, just sign up with the link below, also in the video description, at my partner exchange, BingX. Right now, there are bonuses of up to 11,500 USDT available. There are also always some cool events where you can just grab a few airdrops or other freebies for free. Alright. Bitcoin is at $104,400. As you can see, the movement is very minimal on the 1 hour and, of course, also on the 4 hour time frame. It's more of a wait-and-see situation, maybe leaning a bit more toward the downside. The funding rates have started to rise slightly again over the past few hours. Of course, yesterday was a holiday, so there were a lot of retail traders back in the market, hoping things might go up, which is why there are a few more longs in the market. We don't see that in the chart yet, but as we've said yesterday and the day before, it could still push once more into our price range of about 106,800 to around 109,000 US dollars. Because if we look at the heat map, we can see, at least on the weekly, the 103 level is really heating up, and in my opinion, a lot more has been cleared out to the upside. The same thing applies again, just briefly, from a 2-week perspective. Here too, it's always worth taking another look. There we have the 109, which we just mentioned, and of course, to the downside, it heats up all the way down to just about 100,000. That would also fit very well with our support zone. So, these are still the alternatives here as well. Either we shoot straight up, liquidate everything to the upside, and then try for a dump, or it's the other scenario. We go down first and then try to grab the liquidity to the upside again. Those are basically my two clusters right now, here in the middle of nowhere, literally right in the center. In my opinion, it makes absolutely no sense to enter any positions right now. That's why I'm staying on the sidelines for now and watching to see what the first big move will be. Also, like I said, we're heading into the weekend, so jumping into any positions now is, a bit tricky. That's why I'd rather just wait it out a bit. Just for the sake of completeness, the 3-day heat map basically says the same thing. 100K, 109, and in between, right above us, these small liquidity clusters that have now formed, and basically right here, this supply or the golden pocket, and to the downside, our current lower edge of the range. In my opinion, if things really crash this weekend and the US gets involved, yeah, then we'll probably see Bitcoin down here somewhere between, I'd say, 83 to about 92,000 US dollars. That's actually the main range I'm keeping an eye on right now down here, just in case I want to get back in for swing long positions or maybe buy some more spot. The other zones are, of course, much lower. Those would be at 73 to 68 and then again at 48 to 52. We already know these zones. But like I said, that's pretty much my current take on the whole thing. If we also turn on the indicator, our trader's reality, we can see here as well that there are still 1 or 2 larger vector candles. That would fit really well down here with this green, red box that I've marked out as support down here. So that's what I'm hoping for at the moment. Right now, we've also dropped below the important IMAs. Still, the trend is, I'd say, intact, bullishly intact, so for now, we can still expect new all-time highs. So at least for now, we don't need to worry about that. Even though, of course, I've also mentioned in my live streams over the past few weeks that the pattern from 2021 is really similar. Top, higher high, then closed below it. Here, we didn't get another higher high, but still, double top, again, a double top here. And that's exactly the same pattern we had back in 2021. That's why it's better to play it safe, better to keep taking some profits, because if things suddenly crash and drop 10 or 20%, you don't want to regret not having done so. It doesn't have to happen, but like I said, it could. Otherwise, as I said, things are very, very quiet in the market right now. These are simply the two clusters we should be paying attention to at the moment. Let's move on to the altcoins. What's been happening there? Ethereum, basically, also nothing at all. $2,514. So, we can just shift our analysis a bit further to the right again. Nothing is really happening at the moment. Here too, basically, we have the same clusters as we just saw with Bitcoin. To the upside, there's an opportunity to go short, and to the downside, definitely an opportunity to go long. Depending on what the sentiment is up there, of course, with Ethereum, if the market gets completely bullish news, then obviously don't go short up here. But otherwise, yeah, right now it's just aggressive accumulation happening again, and at some point, the move will come, especially since the volume with Ethereum is really reaching its end here. So you can see for yourselves down here, there's almost nothing happening at the moment. The volume is currently completely out of the market. Solana, yeah, after the announcement that ETFs might be coming soon, there was a brief push, but now it's back down and we're seeing a complete sideways phase here as well. Nothing is happening at all. Same story here, downward, or rather, within this range, there's still a small long opportunity if you want to take it, and then the target would definitely be around 157 or 170. That would be the strongest resistance, and if we even get up there, then $185. But it's still a bit too early for that at the moment. But down here, this is still the long range, because as soon as it really breaks, especially below 136, yeah, then we'll probably have to consider that we could drop another $100 US. Alright, otherwise, let's move on to the traditional markets. What's been happening there? Or rather, let's start with the DAX. DAX, yeah, a little bit in the red, still a bit. But like I said, we have to see how the US stock markets open today after their nice holiday over there. There's also very little movement, and the analysis basically stays the same. We'll just move the level a bit lower now. If we get back up into this cluster here, for me it's definitely a clear short position around 24,000 to 24,250 points. Then, let's quickly switch over to gold. Gold is still slipping a little bit, but since there was a holiday in the US yesterday, I don't think we should read too much into it just yet. We could still fill the wick down here, and we still have a bit of support at $3,322. So after this upward movement, a minor correction in between isn't really, well, dramatic, I'd say at this point. Yeah, like I said, the Nasdaq was closed yesterday, Dow Jones was closed, and so was the S&P 500. In my opinion, things are slowly but surely starting to get a bit interesting there as well, as we see how we consolidate up here, and whether there will be some more movement. Possibly a bullish move today before the weekend, before we might, though I really hope not, but the signs are kind of there, that we could see a bigger correction coming. And, last but not least, the euro against the US dollar. The euro is a bit stronger again, after yesterday was a holiday in the US. In Switzerland, interest rates were lowered back down to 0%, so if you need cheap loans, you'll probably want to go to Switzerland. But otherwise, yeah, the market is very calm and waiting. Right now, it's waiting for new information, even though the bullish news is really big at the moment. Yeah, people are investing in Bitcoin here, putting it on their balance sheets and all that. It's all very bullish and could, of course, push Bitcoin even higher. But since we have to look at this globally and not just focus on Bitcoin, we also need to be a bit careful here that we don't end up getting hit by a sudden, bigger liquidity candle that could completely wipe us out of the market, just so that, as in this example down here, if we were to fall into this area below, it might only be to then possibly reach a new all-time high from down there, up, that's actually how I want to put it, so that we drop down here and then maybe catch the last wave into the bull run. That's still my main scenario at the moment, since there's just way too little buying interest up here. But feel free to share your opinion in the comments below. What do you think about it? Are you still bullish? Are you still bearish? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'd say that's it from my side. I wish you all a great start to the weekend. Take care, and by the way, there will be an XRP update later. Until then, bye-bye, and as always, stay crypto.